Started? Okay. Hi, everyone. Welcome once again to this workshop sponsored by Sporty Campaign Project. We are looking at how you can build your own room in the Mozilla Hubs. This is a part of the series we've been doing in support of the April, which is the Citizen Science Month. So the goal of this workshop is to get you accustomed with how to create your own room in Mozilla Hubs. And then last week, we went through all the nitty-gritties, that basics that you need to know, including the promo video on VCIC we showed you, and then how to participate in VCIC. And you can do that by going to the sportyraincampaign.org website, where you can sign on and then you get registered. So we share some resources for you to get started, which is majorly Spoke, and then you need the Mozilla Hub account. And last week also we explored our backyard explorer rooms, where we featured the insect room, and you can navigate in those rooms and be able to get some inspirations on how to create your own rooms. We also went to the citizen science exhibitor rooms, where we've been having excellent conversations every Thursdays for this April with some notable scientists. Like yesterday, we talked about soil. So here now we continue with the same series where we stop on what you need to know to get started using Spoke to create your scene in Mozilla Hubs. So I will hand over to Clement, our able facilitator, who will continue with the workshop. Okay.
Hey. So thank you, Ayo. I know we have two new attendees here, if I'm correct. And I will go ahead and share, before we move forward, I would like to go ahead and share two of the templates, Spoke templates that you can import into your Spoke account. So I will just drop it into the chat. That's the first one. It's the Backyard Explorer, and then we have the drought template. So go ahead and download those to your desktop, and then we will continue. So please let me know once you are done with that.
Do you want us to download both or just one?
You choose one that you want, but if you want to download both, that's fine. If you decide to change your scene, then you can choose one or the other.
Yeah, Olofika, there's two kinds of rooms. One that sort of prompts youth to do a backyard exploration and provides them with a guidebook and 3D models. And then there's just sort of a citizen science exhibitor room. And so these are templates of rooms that we've done so that you can easily just change out images and videos and have something to start learning, a base to start learning how to build a room in. And don't we all need to have Mozilla Hubs account? So if you don't have a Mozilla Hub account, you'll need one so that you can upload these files.
So, so in session 2, we will be continuing from our session that we started off last week about building your own rooms. So last week we went over basics about how to import a lib file into Mozilla Spoke, which is the scene editing tool. And now we are in the second session, which is now going into the Mozilla Spoke and adding images to your room and designing your own room. So As of now, I have placed two template files in the chat. So go ahead and download those template files and you can choose one. And then if you scroll up the chart, you will see the instructions on how to import the spoke file. But I'm gonna go ahead and put it into the chat again for those who have missed out on it. So let me paste it real quick. This is the instruction on how to import your spoke file. Let me know if you still need help. Otherwise, we will continue and dive into building your room. Okay. Please let me know if you have any questions.
Clement, could you show your screen and show us how to do it? Because I've uploaded the file, but I don't see anything now.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, let me go ahead. Let me share mine real quick. Okay, so I'm going to show you guys how to import the files that you guys downloaded into your desktop. So once when you get into Spoke, there's going to be a menu, or you're going to come up in a blank area. You want to go ahead and say create a new project. For me, I'm one step ahead. So if you want, I can go back one more step on that. But the way to import Spoke is you have to choose a new project once you're in Spoke. And so if I go back to my projects, okay, these are all my projects. So you will have, if you haven't created a project, there's going to be like a blank screen or the grayed out area with the plus sign. You want to click a new project on there. So for example, I'm clicking a new project, and you can choose any of this. It doesn't matter because you're going to be importing this file, one of the files that I put on the chat, and it will override everything. So for example, I'm going to create a new one. Let's say I'm going to choose this project here. And once it loads, depending on how fast the network is as well, you will see something like this, okay? And then once you are in the project, you want to go to the menu, the top menu, the file menu, and then you want to import the legacy Spoke project. So click on that, and to give you a warning, and just say okay. And choose the file that you want to work with, or the scene that you want to work with. So I'm going to go ahead and choose the Backyard Explorer room, and then I'll say open. And it's going to start loading your project. So again, depending on the network, it's going to load quickly. It may take a little bit of time. So once it's loaded, you will see something similar to this. With your mouse, I'm using a mouse with a scroller on the top. You can scroll forward and it's going to zoom in or kind of bring you into the scene. And you should see, if you're using the Backyard Explorer room template, this is what you're going to be seeing. Okay, so let me step back a little bit and see how far Fikar and Darlene, if you guys have any questions.
I think for Fika, he has problem with our network and it's not loading. So
Okay.
You will get the instruction sheets at the end of the workshop. Possibly you can use that later just to follow it step by step.
Yes, I think that's what I'll do. I think I'll just do this because my network is extremely poor right now. I'm not sure if you can hear me, but you guys have been breaking.
We can
Yes,
hear you.
we can hear you.
Okay, thank you. Okay.
Okay. All right, so once you're in here, Darlene, please let me know if you're good. Okay, yes, thank you. Okay, so once you are in here, you will see the room for the Backyard Explorer room template. Make sure you get familiar with the assets, the hierarchy assets, where it says elements. You want to click on that, where you will be importing your pictures and place it into Spoke is the My Assets. So that's where it's going to be. And then, as you can see here, these are some of the images that I've imported in the template. You can either drag the images into the Spoke and just kind of drop it in that space. For example, let me just drop an image real quick, just an example real quick. So if I have an image here on my desktop, I can just drop it in here, and you drop an image in there, and it will load it into your the Spoke space. And once it's loaded, it should appear in your assets list as well. So by default, it will select the translate menu on the top. That's for moving the image within the space. So you can go green arrow up or down, red side to side, and then blue is forward and backward. So those are some of the, I mean, these are one of the translate is how you can move the image within the space. And then rotate, of course, it does the rotation, so you can do that. You can rotate the image. And then to scale the image, you can make it bigger or smaller. And then the property here, the property menu here to the right of the screen, or right of the Spoke, you will see it says what element you have chosen, and it gives the position, the rotation, and scale. You can do those transformation here as well. So, for example, if I put a 90-degree here for the rotation and say enter, it's gonna rotate my item 90 degrees. So let me see over here. Let me zoom in. Let me go 180 degrees. Nope, it's not doing anything on here. Let me try something else real quick here. Okay, so here, if I go 0, there you go. That one is working. So you can see that at different values, you can change how the image is rotating in the space. Okay, so purposefully, if you look nicely with that OSU image, if you look, once you place the images, sometimes you will see that it's flat. However, you want to move within the space by clicking your right click on the mouse and kind of move the mouse up or down. And that will give you an idea of where the image is. So you can either use the up and down, make sure you choose that, translate, choose the image first, then translate menu here, and then you can push it down. That's the one way to do it, or you can come over to the position and use the axis, the y-axis, and then I would probably say 0.1, and it will place it right on the floor. If you go 0, it will get it underneath the floor. So you want to put it about 1 to get it right on the floor.
But it's upside down. How do we make it right side?
Yes, so that's a trick that I want to show you guys as well. So if you look to the property menu where I said 90 degrees, you can put a negative sign in front of 90, and it will flip it up real quick. So these are some of the tricks with the numbers and the values that you can use if you are not comfortable with the translate and the transformation tools on this one. So do you guys have any more questions?
Are you gonna take us through it a second time or have us do it on our own?
Yes, the next step is for you guys to go into your space and populate the space, put all the images that you want, make it as beautiful as you want. And then we can go ahead and check it probably like in the next 10, 15 minutes.
All right, done the initial login, but I don't have the file. I'm supposed to upload one file based on the directions in your.
Okay, let me go ahead and share that file real quick with you.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, so there's 2 that I'm sharing right now. So you should be able to download those 2 and follow the instructions. Clem, did you get the instruction? The files?
Yes.
Okay. Excellent.
Is it compulsory I download the 2?
You can choose one.
Okay.
Okay. Any more questions before I let you guys go and you guys become creative in your own space?
Can we do it all one more time? Like show me how to upload a file and put it in. I'm sorry.
No, that's fine.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm gonna go ahead and close this real quick. Back to my projects. Okay.
I get the uploading of the project.
Oh, okay.
But how do I upload the image? I remember it's
okay.
down in the bottom. Yeah.
Okay, let me load
Although
it back
Clement
up.
might still be getting there.
Okay.
So the concept in this, is it the insects room that we're in right now that we're going to? The concept of the Backyard Explorers room is to, supplement or encourage the students to do a backyard logbook challenge. And then in the back of the room, there's 3D models. And there's an introductory video from the librarian Heath. So if I wanted to change one of these images on the walls, how would I do that, Clement? And then how could I put a URL on that image?
Okay, so let me go ahead and go to Unsplash real quick. So unsplash.com, it's a good website that you can go and download free quality images. So I'm going to go ahead and download that. And I'm doing that step because if you have images that are saved somewhere else, you can do that. So I'm just going to go unsplash.com. And I'm going to just say leaves. So in Unsplash, you will see some that say stock images. Those are paid ones. And then there's ones that are free. When you click on that, it will say downloadable. So these are some images that you can download through Unsplash. So here we have an image. I'll choose this one. I like this one. And I'm going to click download. And it should be on my, no, I want that. Should be my, here we go. So the image here is just downloaded from Unsplash. You just want to make sure you verify it if needed. So there you go. And you can crop the image if you want, but I'm just going to go ahead and import it into Spoke. So let me go back to Spoke real quick. So over here, we have our image that's already downloaded. And there's two ways you can do it. The quicker way is you can just drag the image and put it straight into the space. And it will load. So that's the quicker way. And there you go, it's still loading. And there it is. And I'm just gonna go ahead and make it bigger. I'm just gonna use the scaling tool here and highlight it and then make it bigger. Then use my position translate tool and kind of move it around. Okay, so that's one way to do it. The other way to do it is come through your upload button, click the upload button, and then go to wherever image you downloaded, for example, here again, and then select it and then open it. And you go through the same process again.
That seems pretty straightforward. It's just like uploading an image. I'm familiar with. Yeah, thank you very much for showing us again.
No problem. Now to replace if you have a URL, for example, I'm going to use I'm just going to choose one here. I'm just going to choose an insect grasshopper. So I'm going to choose it.
Link it to spottyrain.org.
Okay. That's going to be, let me see. So the image here, and then you have the URL. And if you want to link it to spottyrain.org, you just have to put it in the link href. So it's going to be www.spottyrain.org. And there you go. And then you make sure anytime you make changes, you need to save the project. So I will just click on here, go to File, and Okay, it's taking time over here but you can see hit Control S on your keyboard. It will save your project. There you go, Control S. Any questions so far from the others? No, okay. The other, I mean, if you want to replace the image without moving the image or deleting it, and if you have a URL, for example, I'll just choose the ladybug here, and I have the URL for the ladybug. I can just copy it over, and it doesn't have to be the one in your assets. It can be outside of the Mozilla Spoke as well. So I'm just going to copy, and I'm going to click the image that we were working with earlier, and then delete the URL. Then I'll paste it in there and enter, and you will see it replace one of those images. So that's how you do it if you want to replace an image in a position that you have left on the wall. That's how you use a URL to replace it. So questions?
I don't know. I don't have a question, but I want to share an element of the functionality of these items on the wall. So there's static images or an URL where you can click on for the logbook. But for example, when I'm an avatar, I can click on the tree ID guide and I can share my screen as I'm looking at that ID guide sort of in avatar land with the person standing next to me. So I had this really cool experience in the insect room where a student and I clicked on the ID guide. We're able to look at it together as I scrolled through and identify an insect that he found outside a day earlier. So just thinking about your usership, and when you're putting these teaching resources on, there's this level of interactivity where you and other people in avatar form can visit those sort of outside links together in the hub. And I thought that was really neat.
One of the things that I wanted to share is how to import 3D images. Similar to importing an image with 3D images. In the asset menu, you will see models. So your asset and then models. That's a quicker way to do it. Click on that, and it will load some of the free models that are already part of the Spoke. Let me see. Nope, all my images models are gone. 3 of my models are gone. So I will use Sketchfab. So, so that's a Sketchfab version here. And I'm going to go ahead and import these oranges. And similar to your images, it will load. Take your time. So you can see when it's still loading, it's anchored to my mouse. So you can move it around. And I just moved it to the back. So usually when it stops doing those rotation stuff, that's a good sign because it's about to load. And then you can zoom in. This one is a very tiny model, so we need to make it big. So you can see here, it's a little bit hard to make a model big. So the good thing is you can use the property for that to make it bigger. So I'm gonna come to the properties and scale it from 0.01 to 0.05, I think. So this still small. Let me go 0.1. And there you go. So this is how you import the 3D models in. Sketchfab.com has some of the free models as well. You can import models from there as well. And again, if you have the link for the model, if you go to the website, look for the free models that you like. And then if you copy the URL for that, you can just do exactly what we did earlier with the leaves. You come here, highlight, delete that, and you paste it, and your models will be replaced. So, and then of course, the scaling, the translate, moving the models back and forth, and the rotate, it's all the same. It's pretty straightforward, just like the leaves that, I mean, the images that we did earlier. So any questions? I think we're running out of time, so.
Yeah, thank you, Clement. So today we got our templates uploaded and we learned how to put an image in and move items around. What are we going to learn next time?
So next time we're looking at importing 3D models and walk through the Sketchfab, because those are some of the resources that I've used, and I like some of the models there. If you can familiarize yourself with Sketchfab, let me put the link in the chat. It's sketchfab.com. You can go there and you can see some really cool 3D models that you want to use. You can download that from there as well. Also, you can, once you're in Spoke, you can use the Sketchfab version here and kind of play around with, just to familiarize yourself with the use of 3D models within the space. So. Question.
All right, that sounds great, because the 3D models are cool on my phone or my computer, but when I pop on those VR goggles, it's extra cool. So I think the 3D models really enhance the experience for the kids coming online. Thanks, Clement.
Oh, thank you for your time.
Thank you very much. I am able to enter in the space and played with some of the objects in there, but I just hope to get other information as time progresses so that I can explore better. Maybe I'll have to talk with you also if I have any question and need clarifications on. Thank you so much. I appreciate.
No, thank you for attending. Yes.
Yeah. I would say that also to anybody who's watching a recorded event, that feel free to reach out to us. Our project email is spottyrain@okstate.edu. And we'd really love to have anybody who is interested exhibiting in the hall, sharing their science or their citizen science education activities with us. So just if you're watching on a recording and you do need help, Clement and the excellent students in the Emerging Technologies and Creativity Research Lab here at OK State are excited to help you with any questions you have.